We just have, like, we'll try to, you know what I mean? But it's, again, the most important thing is, we don't want to make him uncomfortable. And, traveling and all that stuff, like with that and the swelling it can cause, again, we'll be mindful of that. But, when he's able, we'll make sure that we do all we can to have him around.
And then on the long list of injuries, where Lowry or Jarrett?
Lowry and Jarrett were both able to practice today, so they're progressing.
Will you see how they do for Monday? Is that part of the
Yeah, well, I mean, again, it's always how you recover the next day and how you respond. My expectations are that they'll play Monday, but again, you never know.
And how's the mom progressing?
He's coming along as well. He did some light shooting and stuff and did some of the non-contact stuff we did today, so he's progressing as well.
And then obviously to see everyone get a little bit just in that. Is that good to see just in this process for him and like how
Yeah, I mean, it's, I love to see Evan on the floor, no matter what he's doing. So he's making progress, again, and it's just a matter of the healing and the pain tolerance and those things. But again, we won't do anything to jeopardize him long term. But again, as long as he progresses, we'll keep moving ahead.
When we talked to you last time about the absence of Colin, we didn't know the timeline. Now it's the entire season. How do you make up for that long stretch of time?
I apologize for being a broken record, but it's like everybody has to do it. It can't be, we can't expect one guy to pick up, where Colin left off. What we have to do now is we have to move the ball more and generate open shots for more people. And so in order to pick up, that scoring that he obviously provided. And I think that's where, we have to continue to improve is like the ball movement, that chemistry offensively, creating for one another. That's where we're going to have to improve when we can pick up some of that scoring.
Can you still be the same offensive team that you
want? I mean, yes, we're going to have to be. I think we're going to, again, we'll have to generate it different ways. But in order for us to have any success, I mean, you got to score the ball. And I feel confident in the pieces that we have, that if we play that way, we'll create open shots. And I think we have, you know what I mean? Like you go back and watch those games and we had open looks that the guys generated for one another. So we just have to continue to do that.
And you guys came into this season and you had higher expectations than in the past. What's the key as a coach to maintaining those expectations while dealing with all this stuff that you're doing?
It's the focus on the day-to-day, and which is what we've tried to do all along. We don't pay attention to April and May. We try to stay focused on right now, and that's all we can do. So every single day we take the same approach of how do we get better today? How do we compete today? And then, at the end of it, you look back and you see whether or not you've done the job that you've set out to do.
So for like the last week, a number of different coaches have talked about you guys in general, and they all say the same thing: how hard you guys play, and they all say that it's a testament to the culture that you're instilling here. I'm sure you don't need that validation, but what does it mean to have your other peers recognize the things that you wanted to do?
I mean, it means a lot to me, to be honest with you, because I have a lot of respect for my peers, and we don't bullshit each other. You know what I mean? Like we're not out there just saying things just to be kind. Like so, when people you respect, respect the job that you do, it means a lot. It's not a matter of validation; it's more appreciation and respect to earn their respect, because that's ultimately what we do, right? Is we're trying to earn the respect of our peers. And I think, so that it, there's a much appreciation for it.
Knowing how talented a player, how do you think he'll approach the career?
I mean, the only way he knows how. I mean, with the dogged approach, like it's going to be every single day doing all the things that are necessary. He actually texted me today and said he's already doing all the things that they've been asking him to do. You know what I mean? Like, I just imagine that's how he's going to do it. And it's the only way he knows how. And he'll be stronger for it. I mean, again, I'm sure we'll be mindful of that. And he will as well, because he knows this is a long-term thing. And it's not just, a quick fix in the moment. Like, this is important for the rest of his career, that, he makes sure that he does it right and that we give him everything that he needs.
Is he in good spirits when we talk to him, or?
I mean, it's through text, you know, and he's appreciative of the conversation and reaching out. You know, you could imagine that's obviously how difficult it is for him. But again, I like knowing him, he only knows one way to approach it, and like he's gonna get through it and fight through it.
What do you mean by doing it right?
I mean, just not skipping steps, right? You know, like in rehab, you know, we're a lot of times we can get sped up because we're trying to get to the end so fast, and then we skip some steps that are in the middle, and then you end up on the back end suffering because you skip those steps. So we'll make sure that, you know, he does, you know, step by step with our performance team and all those guys that are there to help him.
Steve, go ahead.
Yeah, JB, this Ricky that we're seeing lately, I'm curious, is this a conscious thing because of what the team might need right now, and we're seeing him as more of a shooter, more of a scorer, or is this like an advanced edition of Ricky that has gained from all the experience and this is where he is now as a player? Is this by need, or is this sort of who he is?
I think it's a combination of both. But we asked him when he came in to be the version of himself that we saw over the summer with the Olympic team, with the Spanish national team. And he was aggressive, you know, shooting, scoring, and playmaking. And that's the version that we wanted. And I think that's the best version of Ricky. And I think that's who he is, and that's who he's been for us since he's been here.
Just to straighten out my timeline with you and him, you were off to Houston when he
So I came
from Minnesota.
Yeah, I was there when we drafted him, and then we were together for a small part of the summer before I left to go to Houston.
Okay. And did you guys, I mean, did you hit it off? Is there value from that now in your relationship?
So. Yeah, I think, you know, again, it was a small period of time, but that time gave us the opportunity to keep connecting over years. So every time we would see each other, we would speak and those types of things. And we were able to build relationships. I think, you know, my experience with Marc Gasol in Memphis, who Ricky's obviously is close to, you know, was able to help spur our relationship. But, you know, I think Ricky and I have a great relationship now because of it.
How did your assessment of Ricky change, you know, from seeing him from the other sideline all these years?
I mean, it really hasn't. You know what I mean? Like, and again, when he became an option, we fought like hell to get him here because there was so much respect and appreciation for his game that I think a lot of times went unnoticed. You know what I mean? Like, you saw the Phoenix team in the bubble jump, and, you know, a lot of the credit, and deservingly so, goes to Booker and those guys, right? But, you know, you listen to Booker and those guys and Anthony Edwards and those guys, and they tell you how much of an impact that Ricky had on them. So it wasn't just his individual skill set that we were looking for, but it was his ability to improve young players where we were, that we were looking for as well.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Marla?
Yeah, JB, just sorry if you already answered this, but I had some technical difficulties. When did you tell the team when Colin was officially